What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Nathan Christ, and in today's video I'm showing you guys in a lot more detail how to install landscape fabric like a pro. So I did a video a few years ago, had a lot of interest, had a lot of questions about how do you install landscape fabric around plants that are pre-existing. And so that's what we're going to dive into today. We take this overgrown landscape and we clear it out and we turn it into something beautiful that the homeowner loves and it's easy to maintain. So won't be a whole lot in the tear out. It's going to be all focused on how to install the fabric, what's the best methods to use, and what tools you're going to need. So stay tuned and let me know if you guys have any questions. Real quick, guys, here are the tools that you're going to need. I'm going to make a list of everything and put it in the description below. All of this stuff can be found at your local hardware store, or if you're like me, you can buy it on Amazon and it comes straight to your house. So you're going to need a razor blade knife. I prefer the hook blades. They seem to cut a little bit better. You're going to need a dead blow mallet or some type of rubber mallet. You're going to need some form of stakes or staples. Make sure you get a heavy gauge staple. You don't want those cheap ones that are going to bend on you. If you do the second method or one of the methods of cutting, you're going to need a torch and you're going to need a 1-pound propane cylinder. And then, of course, you're going to need your landscape fabric. And guys, remember, when you're looking at landscape fabric, don't get just enough for your bed. You got to account for the overlap, and it always comes in different lengths and widths. So get what's going to be easiest for your application. Now, for those of you that didn't watch the first video that I put out, you may want to go back and check that out, because I do talk about starting along the edge of the house or starting along a straight edge, putting a couple staples in, and then pulling it tight. So I've already done that in the video. I've already done that. I put the first layer against the house, and right now I'm just stretching out the second section. And what I'll go into detail in a little bit in the video is how I use different widths to cover this bed and ultimately use less cuts.
All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm just cutting it. I'm going to make sure it's a little bit past the wall, because we're going to come off this wall and come horizontal. It doesn't really matter. You can run different directions as long as it overlaps. Get a good knife. I think I'm going to run off the center line of these plants, because the less cuts you have to make, the better. So if I run it and I overlap it 5 or 6 inches over here, and I've got extra here, well then I've got to cut. I've got to cut and I've got to fold it around the plants, and it's just kind of create a little bit more work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off the center line of these plants. I'm going to put this right to the edge of the base of this plant, and I'm going to staple it down and then pull it tight. And then I'll run it along to this side, make my cuts over here if I need to, and overlap it on the far side. So let me get a couple of these pinned down so we can pull it tight, and we'll give you another view. All right, so basically what I've done is, it doesn't have to be perfect. I've got the fabric down there close to the end. There's a little bit of overlap, and I just put a couple of these staples in it to hold it in place. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it real close to the bottom of this stem here, and I'm just going to press one in the ground. I'm going to pull it tight. I'm going to pull it down this way and get it tight, and then I'm just going to stake it down. Now I'm not going to hammer this all the way in at this point, and the reason for that is this next sheet that I'm going to put over top is going to overlap this. So it's going to come here, it's going to overlap. It doesn't hurt if you want to put them all the way in the ground, but you're using more staples. So what I'm going to do is when I come in and I put in this top layer, I'll put it over top of this, and then I'll have this other layer, and I'll put the staple through both of them at the same time. So I'm going to pull this down. I'm going to go probably every 10 feet or so just to kind of get it taut. I don't have to do every plant if they're in a line, especially. That wind's blowing. All right, so I'm going to come in here. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to hold it tight, go down, do it again. And then one more down here at the end. one of the hardest to go around because it's going to be hard to get underneath there. So rather than fighting this here, I'm going to start on the other end and we're going to overlap it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this tight. I'm pulling it this way. And you want 4 or 5 inches, maybe 6 inches of overlap. So now I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to put my stake in. And now I'm ready to stake these in place. If you got some wrinkles in here, it's fine, it doesn't really matter. Now if you'll come around here just a little bit so you can get this angle. So this is kind of bunched up a little bit here, right? I could pull it around here, but what's easier to do is I'm gonna just come over here, I'm gonna give it a little cut. And I'm gonna find about where the center of the plant is. And I'm gonna try to lay this flat. And I'm just touching it with my finger right to where the center of this plant is. So I'm touching this stem. And it actually happens to be right where this line is. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do an open cut right where that line is, and I'm gonna come straight out. And now I can go back and I can fold this around and come back around this side. And so now I can take this, I can bring this around if I need to. Rather than cutting this flap off, just fold it under. Make sure you got your overlap. And then just stake it down. And guys, don't buy those cheap staples. Make sure you get a good, thick, heavy-duty staple. Make sure you got a good mallet. I use a dead blow mallet. It's got like sand or actually bearings in it. It's a hardscape tool. You can use any type of mallet, but it works better than a hammer. So a rubber mallet or a dead blow mallet. All right, same thing on this side. I'm pulling this as tight as I can away from the wall. Obviously I'm sitting on it so it doesn't help, but I'm coming over here and I want to just get that overlap. I'm going to fold this under if I need to. I'm going to tack it down. Now, depending on what you're putting on top of it, we're going to put gravel on top, so we don't have to put the staples very close together. I'm probably going to do every 8 feet, maybe one in between every one of these plants and then around the plants. But if you're putting something lighter on it, you might go every 4 or 5 feet if you're doing pine straw or something like that. So I'm just going to pull it taut. I don't want to pull it so hard that it pulls it away from the plants that I lined it up with, but I'm just going to put it in here. I'm going to tack it down. And we're going to do this along this whole row. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. So this one's going to be a little bit harder to work around. So I'm going to end up pulling those staples out on this side once I get to working on it. But I'm just going to kind of pull this taut this way, coming towards me and going away to kind of get these wrinkles out a little bit. I'm going to put in a stake here. I'm going to put one in the middle to help hold it in place. And then just for the sake of being able to pull it even, I'm going to put one here, and I am going to put that one into the ground. Now I'm going to pull these ones up, and I'm going to try to do the same thing that I did over here. And I'm going to find where the center of this bush is. You won't be able to see it, but I'm just going to reach under here. I'm going to find it. I'm going to mark it with my hand. I've kind of got an idea. And this doesn't, guys, this is not an exact science. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're trying to prevent weeds, but you're never going to stop weeds. So there's a little bit of room for error, a little bit of room for grace. And so now I'm just going to find it. Here's my cut. And I'm just going to run up. Now I'm going to feed it underneath. and then I'll be able to work it around the sides. And part of the reason, you know, so guys, a lot of this has to do with your layout. So the less cuts you have to make, the better. The less overlaps you have to make, the better. Now, I could come right here, and if there's a little bit of a seam in between here, no big deal. It's not the end of the world. But if you look down here, we've got this part of the bed cleaned out as well. So I'm going to be running another strip perpendicular. I'm going to come all the way down. So I'm actually going to cover up this seam or cover up this overlap. Just like that. I'm coming underneath, trying to get all the branches underneath everything. And so, like I said, this is that seam. You're just going to have a little bit. And if you really want the best protection, you're going to want to cover that up. So that's what we're going to do when we bring our run from down here to the porch, bring it all the way over, and it'll cover this seam up. But for now, we're just going to stake it down. Again, we know we're going to put another layer on top, so I don't need to pound these into the ground. I just need to hold it in place. To save time, you're not always saving money. Let's put it that way. I've got 3 different sizes of material because for me, my time is more valuable. So I've got a 3-foot section. This next section is 6 feet. And then I'm going to come in with this final roll. And this one is a 4-foot section. So I'm keeping account for the overlap. I always want to have overlap. Now, if you're on a budget, or when you buy a roll, for example, I can get this 3-foot roll in 100 feet. I can get it in 300 feet. So if you've got a big roll of this, you can do multiple passes and use it, and it's just fine. For me, time is money, so I want to be as efficient as possible. So I kind of eyeballed it. I set these out here, and I said, okay, that's going to be good along the building. It grows right up to these holly bushes. And then I kind of set this one out and say, okay, if I have a little bit of overlap, and remember, I wanted to go from the center line of these other plants. So I went, okay, if I go from about right here, I've got good overlap. That's going to be good. And then I just kind of eyeball it, or you can measure it. And say, okay, for my last run, I want to make sure I've got overlap. I'm coming all the way to the edge, and this 4-foot section is going to give me the most overlap. You know, this is 3 feet right here. If I stop, there's going to be a gap. So sometimes it's good, and you can get bigger sections. I've got 12-foot rolls, so if you got a big open area. But sometimes it's worth the time to get a couple different sizes based on how your bed's laid out. Because I tell you, the most time-consuming part is cutting, is putting around the plants. It's not difficult, but the more plants you have, the more cuts you have to make, the more time it's going to take. Say this, on this side, I'm going to stake it down here. I'm going to pull it tight. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this edge up first with the concrete, or in this case, the carport. And I'm going to tack this side down because this is my final edge. So this side's going to be tacked down. And then I'm going to pull it tight this way. And if I have to make any cuts, which I will, I'll make cuts and pull everything here and stake it down as I go. All right, so we've got this edge tacked down. Anywhere where there's a curve, your staples are going to go closer together. Basically what I did is I had about a 3 or 4 inch overlap on this side. I folded it under. Folded it under here. And then because it's close to an edge, I did go a little bit closer with the staples. I did these about every 3 feet, and then the curve comes out. So we're gonna make a couple more cuts here, and we're gonna go all the way down with this, but again, just to reiterate, I'm gonna pull from this flat edge. I'm gonna pull in towards the house to get as many of these wrinkles out as I can. Just so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm basically just taking my hand and I'm pushing the fabric up until I can feel the base of the plant. And it's right here, I can feel it. I just mark it with my finger. Anytime you can pull the fabric tight, it's gonna cut better. So I'm just making a small incision, and then I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna cut it from the incision straight up. that. You can always cut a little bit more to give yourself a little bit more wiggle room down here. I'm going to come around each side. Make sure my overlap is good. And guys, this is what I was talking about. I don't have to stake these down on the open side as I'm coming, because if I would have staked that down to begin with, then I'm just using more stakes, more staples. So I'm gonna come around here, I'm gonna get my overlap. If there's a little bit of extra, just fold it under. That looks good right there. Hold that in place. Same thing with this side. That went in easy because it's fresh soil. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. I'm gonna reach underneath, I'm gonna find it, I'm gonna make my cut, I'm gonna bring my quarters in, fold them if I need to, just to have a little bit less material to work with. And I'm gonna stake it down. And what I might do is I might put one stake in between each one of these plants as I go down, but it's really not necessary, especially for us. We're putting gravel on top. We're gonna put a white decorative pea stone, pea gravel, and so the weight of the gravel is gonna hold this down. But what you don't want is you don't want very few stakes, especially if you're not completing the project all at once. Say you do it every 10 feet, and then you get a big windstorm or something that comes and it gets underneath it and it pulls all your fabric back up. You only want to put it down one time. This is a little bed over here. We've got some hostas and another little small plant here. We've got somewhere in here a piece of PVC pipe. So I want to show you another trick that you can do with a torch. And you can actually do it on the ends instead of cutting the ends with a razor blade. You can actually cut it with a torch, and instead of having the frayed and split ends, it'll have kind of soldered ends. But anyways, what I've done is, just like before, I've tacked it against the wall, I've pulled it tight to my straight edge, and you can kind of see where I've got this plant here. So what I'm going to do is, very carefully, to try not to burn the plant, I'm just going to cut with a torch a little bit of this plastic out, and then I'm going to fold the plant up and around it through the holes. So just going to get a little bit smaller of a hole than what the plant is. Just like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the foliage around it, just like that.
So guys, one thing that's worth noting is sometimes, depending on the size and the shape of the plant that you have, whether it's something that's already existing or something that you're planting, sometimes it is easier to use the torch and cut out around it. But in those cases, like you see in this video here, I don't have the landscape fabric tight yet. I'm going ahead and cutting out the shapes of the plants, I'm putting it around it, and then I'm pulling it tight after the fact. So sometimes you just kind of see if you want to have to do more splices, or if you have the ability to shape it around plants such as these and just lay it down. It does make it easier, it does make it clean, and there aren't any jagged edges or anything. But both methods work. It just depends which one's going to be best for your application. All right, y'all, this is what it's going to look like when you get done with your project. You're going to have your landscape fabric down, your overlap's going to be good, it's going to be tight against the hard surfaces, and it's not going anywhere. The only thing you have to do is decide what you're going to put on top of it. We went ahead and dressed it up with a 3/4 inch white pea gravel stone, and the customer was just absolutely thrilled with it. She loved how it looked, it complemented the house, and it just really left the flower bed with a very overall clean look. So you guys let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you like it? What do you like to put on top? And as always, guys, if you've got questions, don't hesitate to ask, and I will get to them just as quick as I can. All right, guys, well, as always, we love you, we appreciate you, and above all else, God bless you.